Timbers 360 is presented by Toyota. It's Decision Day Eve, and the Timbers travel up north to their Cascadia rival Seattle for the final match of the regular season. Welcome to this week's edition of Timbers 360. I'm your host, Jake Zivin. There's a lot on the line tomorrow. Cascadia Cup, seeding in the playoffs, and an unbeaten streak that goes back over 7 years to 2017 up in Seattle. It's a big week, and Timbers manager Phil Neville knows it.
I'd say that these games are always full of incidents. They're always full of exciting moments, goals. And I think if you was writing a script, I think this is a great script to end the season. Decision day against your biggest rivals. Us needing a win to finish with a home playing. And probably for them to win the game to finish in the top two, maybe. So I don't know. So there's plenty riding on the game. You look at the game Saturday and the game Tuesday or Wednesday. You think about the week that's going to come up, and hopefully there's another game after that in the playoff. Is that now we're into the stage of the season that you actually prepare for from day one. We came back, I think, maybe January the 8th, January the 10th, and you prepare all those weeks, all those months, all that sacrifice for this moment to play in the playoff. You fight at the start of the season to get into the playoff. So I think when you get to this stage, you've got to embrace it. You've got to be excited with it. You've got to look forward to it, and you've got to attack it. You know, I think that's the most important thing. You can't be scared of the challenge that's in front of us. We're going to be playing in a playing game. It's going to be high expectation, high pressure, winner takes all. And I'd say let's bring it on. I think the boys are ready. And the big thing for me is on Saturday we're playing for the Cascadia Cup as well. You know, on Saturday hopefully we're going to be flying back down with a trophy on the plane. Looking forward to the playing game at home.
Coming up on Timbers 360, we'll take a look at highlights from the Timbers' last visit to Seattle, a new episode of the Evergreen pod with homegrown Sawyer Jura, the Pathway presented by Allstate with Tega Ikoba, and get ready for tomorrow with the matchup.
Got a second header, and they've scored again from a set piece. Raul Ruiz with his 5th of the season, the second header inside the 6. The Sounders at home strike first. Seattle looking for number 2. He needs a good bounce for Leo Chu. Keeps it in front of him. Leo Chu, yes! As the crow flies from point A to point B, and at the half-hour mark, Leo Chu doubles it for the Sounders. His 4th of the season. To celebrate the 10-year milestone, MLS and Continental Tires. As it's fallen inside for Portland, they have a chance here. Still there, oh, what a clearance from João Paulo. And then full rocket style from Nuhu.
It was a really good move. Evander, who's been at the heart of everything good for Portland, gets the ball wide. Mosquera puts the ball in the box. The ball touch from Moreno comes to Mora. There's a little bit of pinball, and then it's Mora who should have scored. João Paulo, an incredible piece of defending.
Leo Chu has been an absolute firecracker.
Oh, he's off.
Big collision there. Was that Leo Chu? If he gets a yellow,
yes,
he got a yellow for taking his shirt off.
Yeah.
What a disaster here for the Sounders. They're trying to talk John Freeman out of it. He hasn't shown the red yet, but he has now.
Has to.
Varposi Asprilla, his first touch of the ball, a man who has lived all over this rivalry. You don't get a yellow for halfway taking off your shirt, but they've cut the lead in half, and now a man up. Portland are back in business. He's emotionally moved too.
Yeah, it's a long throw in the box. That McGrath does brilliant just to flick it on.
And Mosquera. Evander, wide open with time, drives it! Oh, Evander! Living on the end of a lightning bolt. We are tied in the 70th minute. Sensational!
Little moment of genius. It was good play with Dairon Asprilla on that right-hand side. Mosquera getting forward, spots Evander just in the pullback. That is absolute world-class ability from Evander. We saw it from the free kicks where he whips and he dips. He gets speed on the ball as well. Portland Timbers.
Timbers 360 is presented by
championships everywhere, and that's what he wants to do here with Portland Timbers.
We finally get to introduce our next big time player in Jonathan Rodríguez.
Choosing a DP has to be absolutely spot on.
You got to want to have a player that's on board and understands the project and is bought into it.
La MLS me abrió las puertas, fue Portland, agradecido con el club y la verdad que estoy muy contento de estar acá.
Moreno to Rodríguez! Rodríguez just launches it and he gets it! Rodríguez! Oh! And equally good! Back to Rodríguez! Give, go, goal! Portland Timbers at the very best! Jonathan Rodríguez for Timbers! Now looking to get it back for Rodríguez. Swatted at by Brown and slotted in! Jonathan Rodríguez!
Earlier this year, Sawyer Jura made his debut for the Timbers first team. He was born in Bend, Oregon, and joined the Timbers Academy at just 12 years old. Hear more about Sawyer's journey on the latest edition of the Evergreen Pod.
Before you moved to Portland, we were talking a little bit about it off air. Can you walk our fans through the commute, what that was like? I know you played in Vancouver, you obviously played in Portland, you started with Timbers Bend FC. You've gone all over the state, so how many miles were you putting on a week?
I don't know, a lot. So when I was in elementary school even, we were already starting to do the drive up to Portland, me and my dad, me and my mom, my brother. We would go probably once a week. Every Thursday I'd cut out of school early. 4th grade up for the weekend, and then I'd come back down and get back to school on Monday. And then once we moved to Washington first, and then that commute from Washington to Beaverton was quite a big one. So we also had that for multiple years, but I mean, it's proved to all be worth it and a lot of dedication, but I mean, it's been great.
Did it take any convincing of the Bend School District teachers when you were in elementary school to let you cut out early Thursday and miss Friday?
Fortunately, my mom was a teacher at the school at the time, so I think that helped a little bit. But I mean, I think they all had good faith that it would all work out, and it did. So.
What do you remember about those car rides? What were the conversations like?
We definitely changed it a lot. We had a go-to Kenny Chesney playlist that my dad would always put on. So I think I could sing that whole playlist word for word at this point. But I mean, just obviously just spending time with him is super special. So. Was
your dad kind of like a coach for you?
Not necessarily. Definitely more of a life coach than soccer-wise. He usually would let the soccer stick to myself and the staff and everyone else. But I mean, from a world standpoint, definitely him and my mom have taught me a ton.
You've obviously been kind of born and raised within the Timbers culture. You're an Oregon kid. You were 6 years old when Diego Chara joined the team. You're now sharing a pitch with him. Do you dare make an age gap joke with him?
No way. I think it's for Diego, it's nothing but respect, obviously. I think there's just a ton that I've been learning from him, so I'm just I want to be like him one day, so I'm just trying to pick up as much as I can.
We've talked about Diego and how he's an influence for you. Let's kind of get the Mount Rushmore of Sawyer Jura's top 5 favorite Timbers. Not the best Timbers. I'm not going to get you in trouble with a fan base that you love and loves you. But who, when you think about the time from you were 12 years old, who have been your top 5 favorite Timbers?
I mean, obviously, Chara, Valeri. I really like Nat Borchers. I did a on-field walkout with him when I was playing for Bend FC Timbers. They invited us, so that was pretty cool. I was right next to him and Liam. There's a funny picture, but so those 3 for sure. And Nagby is unbelievable, and then I would say Rodney Wallace, just the positional similarity.
Timbers 360 is presented by Toyota. Another product of the Timbers Academy, Tega Ikoba made his MLS debut in 2022, scored his first MLS goal a year later in 2023. This year he played 2 games with the Timbers first team, but provided an attacking force for Portland Timbers 2, including scoring a hat-trick against Sporting Kansas City 2. This is The Pathway, presented by Allstate with Tega Ikoba.
It wasn't necessarily a coach, but my dad, he'd always tell me that when I'm practicing and I'm getting frustrated because things aren't going the way I planned, to always just keep working hard because it'll always translate in the game. The Timbers was really good for me growing up because the academy was a great place for me to kind of test my skills and improve alongside a lot of other people in my age going through the same thing like school and stuff. The residency was even better for me too because I got to live with other kids going through the same thing. So I was able to have friends here instead of just being all by myself, and it was a great opportunity for me, honestly. I would say just to commit to the process. Sometimes you can't really see it and understand where things are going, but you know, everybody in this organization is trying to get the most out of all of us, so as long as you just commit to everything, I think you'll be in a good spot. You know, my goal is probably just to be recognized as a soccer player worldwide. I think that'd be awesome. Just people to know my name, just acknowledge the hard work I put in, and I think that's all I really need.
Timbers 360 is presented by Toyota. It's the final weekend of the MLS regular season, Decision Day, which this year sends the Portland Timbers north for the 122nd edition of the Great American Soccer Rivalry. There's a lot on the line on Saturday. First of all, the Cascadia Cup. The Vancouver Whitecaps currently lead the Cascadia Cup standings with 8 points. The Timbers and Sounders, one behind them on 7. The scenarios are pretty simple. If the Timbers win, then the Timbers Army will receive the Cascadia Cup. If the Sounders win, then the Cascadia Cup will be in the Emerald City for the next year. If it's a draw, then all 3 teams will be on 8 points, but the Timbers would be guaranteed to have the tiebreaker, and the Cascadia Cup would come to Portland after a year away. As for the Audi 2024 MLS Cup playoffs, the Timbers have clinched their spot, and they are locked into playing in the midweek one-off Western Conference wildcard game against either the Vancouver Whitecaps or Minnesota United. It won't be easy on Saturday because the Sounders are in great form. They're in 3rd place in the Western Conference. They have clinched home field advantage in their round 1 best-of-3 series. They've won 3 in a row. They've lost just 2 of their last 16 regular season games, but one of those was to the Timbers on August 31st at Providence Park. The Timbers have had incredible success up north. They haven't lost an MLS regular season game at Lumen Field in over 7 years since 2017. If that streak continues, the Timbers will win the Cascadia Cup, and if they can win the match, they might be able to host the Western Conference wildcard game. Timbers head coach Phil Neville knows the mentality needed heading into Decision Day.
I'd say that these games are always full of incidents, they're always full of exciting moments, goals, and I think if you was writing a script, I think this is a great script to end the season. Decision Day against your biggest rivals, us needing a win to finish with a home playing, and probably for them to win the game to finish in the top 2 maybe, so I don't know, so there's plenty riding on the game.
It's the Portland Timbers and the Seattle Sounders, the 122nd edition of the Great American Soccer Rivalry on Decision Day. All Western Conference games kicking off simultaneously at 6 p.m. Pacific time. You can watch the Timbers and the Sounders on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. Timbers 360 is presented by Toyota. If you aren't making the trip to Seattle for the match, be sure to check out 10 Barrel for the official team watch party. Join other fans and cheer on the team. Food and drink specials will be available, as well as an opportunity to win prizes.
Now we're into the stage of the season that you actually prepare for from day one, and you prepare all those weeks, all those months, all that sacrifice for this moment. So I think when you get to this stage, you've got to embrace it, you've got to be excited with it, you've got to look forward to it, and you've got to attack it. That's the most important thing. You can't be scared of the challenge that's in front of us. To go into the last game, we're in control of our own destiny. We're not looking at other results, and there's a real focus and energy this morning, and it's going to be a really exciting week, exciting 2 weeks hopefully, and like I say, I think we're in playoff mode.
Thanks for watching Timbers 360, presented by Toyota.